protection. I lost connection in the desert, I had no reception. Yeah, been thinking a lot. Every day I wake up is another blessing. Every day I wake up is another blessing. Thankful every second, getting God's protection. I lost connection in the desert, I had no reception. But in that time alone, I probably learned. Yeah, been thinking a lot. Every day I wake up is another blessing. Every day I wake up is another blessing. Thankful every second, getting God's protection. I lost connection in the desert, I had no reception. But in that time alone, I probably learned 1,000 lessons. I used my time for introspection and some self-reflection, and analyzed a couple ways to conquer my depression. Everything doesn't happen the way we plan it to, but if we harvest energy, then we can plan it too. So take a look in my eyes, that's where the story lies. I'm telling truth, and that isn't often glorified. I'm showing up, fully present in the moment, realizing self-doubt is my only opponent. So now I'm focused and rolling, the energy is flowing, hoping I stay zoning and my catalog keeps growing. That's the motive, and I'm devoted. My destiny awaits, and I'm not going unnoticed.
Wake up every morning and respect the blessings. Yeah, we made it out, you know that this was destined. Death, pain, scars, loving, living reckless. Made it through the storm, yeah, that trip was hectic. Wake up every morning and respect the blessings. Yeah, we made it out, you know that this was destined. Death, pain, scars, loving, living reckless. Made it through the storm, yeah, that trip was hectic.
I won't lie to you, baby, I took some summers off, but now I'm back at work trying to cover summer's cost. Had a couple battles, some were won and some were lost, but I fought for my life, I had no other choice. I feel grateful that God gave me another chance, but I don't understand, I still don't fully understand. Lessons learned and feathers earned. You don't think it's possible until it's your turn. Now we fight like we got nothing left to lose. No one else on earth has been in our shoes. Some will consider it paying our dues, but now we rock these battle scars like tattoos.
Wake up every morning and respect the blessings. Yeah, we made it out, you know that this was destined. Death, pain, scars, loving, living reckless. Made it through the storm, yeah, that trip was hectic. Wake up every morning and respect the blessings. Yeah, we made it out, you know that this was destined. Death, pain, scars, loving, living reckless. Made it through the storm, yeah, that trip was hectic. Wake up every morning and respect the blessings. Yeah, we made it out, you know that this was destined. Death, pain, scars, loving, living reckless. Made it through the storm, yeah, that trip was hectic.
That should be it.
Yo, what's up, guys? We are back with the Hype It Up show. And this is a show where we talk all things creative entrepreneurship with all of our homies. And we appreciate everyone for pulling up right now. Just make sure we're good. Here, echo. 1 second. Alright guys, so today, I'm here. Today guys, I am here with our homie, Kickamatics. First, why don't you say what up to people, let people know who you are and what you do.
What's good, what's good? So, my name is Kickamatics. You may know me, my name's Zachary Russell, but I go by Kickamatics on all platforms. Basically, I'm just a sneakerhead with a dream. Based out of Providence, Rhode Island, I basically travel the world being able to promote sneakers, streetwear, and anything fashion-related, business storefronts and events, along with brands that may not have that brick-and-mortar storefront as well. Basically, just traveling the world to promote all these businesses and brands in the most positive way possible for 100% free. Everything I do is 100% for the culture and just doing it for the thing that I love most within sneakers and streetwear. And at a young age, I was just really lucky to be able to know what my life's purpose was, and which is helping others at the end of the day. So to be able to mesh that with my life's purpose, to mesh that with my passion within sneakers and streetwear is pretty much just a no brainer to be doing what I'm doing.
That's really, really dope. I'm really hyped to have you on the show. I want to know, how did you get into streetwear just to begin with?
So really, it all started with kicks really in general. So basically, I played basketball my entire life, and starting off with basketball, I just when I was about like 8 or 9 years old, I was at a friend's house. Shout out to the Berger family. I was just there. They were basically doing their Mac on the desktop, and a Toro Bravo 4. Basically, we just came across the screen, and right then and there, I was pretty much like starstruck by that Toro Bravo. When I saw that shoe, I basically was just hooked on it, and I understood obviously what Jordan's done for the sneaker culture and everything. Like obviously MJ being the greatest player of all time and being a basketball fan my whole life. Like it just really started with that Toro Bravo, and from that point on, I was pretty much just addicted to sneakers.
So what was it about that really put you on to like being into it? Like what made that something different than anything else for
I
you?
think the Toro Bravo really. I think I just saw so much that I was like, I just really saw how mesmerized everybody else, what else was with kicks. Like I was always just so much basketball first, and then when I really saw that Toro Bravo, I also really understood like my siblings are all older than me. So my sister, who's she's older than me as well, she would have like air fresheners or keychains hanging from her rear view mirror when she would pick me up from school as a kid, or I would just see a bunch of my friends, obviously with the latest releases on, and I would just pretty much just look at it and just be. I never had them until I had my first ever full time job at 14, until I could buy my own kicks because my parents weren't spending that retail price on me, and they just saw me growing out of kicks. It didn't make sense for them yet. They didn't understand that culture just yet. So then when I was finally at 14 making my own money, I was just like, that's when the collection you see behind me started to get built. Everything was pretty much from all my kicks that I got was pretty much from high school, pretty much just stacking up as much as possible from Boys and Girls Club paychecks to washing dishes. It was all just pretty much just stacking up my chips to be able to create the collection that I have now. And yeah, kicks really just I think because of my love and passion for basketball was like something I've done my whole life. Like sneakers was just really went hand in hand with everything.
That's really, really dope. So everybody watching, actually, you guys can ask Kickamatics a question with the form in the chat. So if throughout the show, you can ask a question. We'll be answering all questions at the end. So I just want everybody to know that to begin with. So what made you start Kickamatics? Like I know you were into sneakers, but what made you actually start the thing Kickamatics? What made you start
So
that?
so the name itself, a lot some people will agree with me, a lot of people won't agree with me, but I'm just not a believer of traditional school. Like I've just never really have been. I never really understood school as it is, especially the curriculum that we're teaching our youth to this day. I really never understood the school system in general. I just don't think anyone has really used it and said like, yo, I'm so glad I learned this in algebra class. You know what I mean? So being in my algebra 2 class, mathematics, and obviously being addicted to kicks, I was of course doodling just in my notebook, not paying attention as usual in my math class. And I still have the paper to this day behind me. It's just a bunch of little doodles and a bunch of things going on. I was just pretty much just mixed mathematics and kicks together with the name that I was in, because the state of mind that I was in, I was like, I would do anything just to leave this math class right now to be able to do something with sneakers. So in that algebra 2 math class, basically, my junior year is when the name actually came about. And yeah, I just pretty much mixed the two together, and it was just what I was feeling in that moment. And I just thought it clicked. Kickamatics really was born that day in the middle of algebra 2. That was really that.
That's crazy. So what made you actually want to start creating content for
So I've always been one
Kickamatics?
behind. I've always been one that's like just loved film in general. Like I was just a kid like at 8 years old, 8, 9 years old with an iPod making Nerf movies. Like you know what I mean? Like I just
Mm.
always loved making videos. And when it came to content, I did pretty much anything you could possibly think of when it comes to kicks. Whether it be reselling, whether it be customs, whether it be restores, whether it be comedy skits, like anything you could think of, I've done with a pair of sneakers. And pulling up in general, like content with pulling up, that really was just an experiment that went well. So like the first pulling up episode that I ever created, where I was just January 30th of 2023. I pulled up to Foot Locker on Warwick Mall. The first two words that came out of my mouth on that voiceover were pulling up, and the video itself did pretty well. It was like 40,000 views with the first video that I made for the pulling up series. And then literally after that day, every single day afterwards, I've just continued to do pulling up and now wake up as well.
So you do them every single day?
So recording wise, like there'll be days where I'll record 16 to 17 businesses in a day to just have them stacked up. So then I'll be able to post one a day when it comes to pulling up and wake up. And yeah, basically edit. I'm basically editing and doing anything within those series every single day. But recording wise, I'll make sure like whenever I have routes or whenever I'm traveling anywhere. For example, like I was just in Tokyo, and the first 4 days it was like 16 stores a day, so like 64 stores recorded in 4 days, and just having all that footage backed up to be able to edit throughout wherever I'm at, so I can just have them scheduled throughout every day that I need to post them up.
That's amazing. So why don't you tell people a little bit about what pulling up is and wake up is,
So pulling up
for
at
people who
first
don't
was
know?
pulling up was really just a at first it was, like I said, an experiment that went right. Basically it turned into merging my purpose with life, being able to help others with my passion of sneakers and streetwear. And by pulling up to all these different businesses and all these different sneakers, streetwear, and anything really fashion related storefronts and events, just being able to go to their establishments and making a 60-second or less video promoting and showcasing and basically giving you a point of view in 60 seconds or less of what you can expect at this store, or if it's an event, basically giving a recap of that event for 100% free in the most positive way possible. So that's how Pulling Up really came about. And now Wake Up, I created this series about, I want to say about 2.5 to 3 months ago. I made Wake Up as well, because I noticed there's a lot of streetwear brands that may not have like an actual brick and mortar storefront, and they're just literally starting out trying to get their name out there. And I wanted to be able to help them as well. So with Wake Up now, I do, for example, today was a Pulling Up day, so I'll do Pulling Up, Wake Up throughout the week. Just flip flop them to be able to have both series going at a consistent rate. Wake Up's really for brands that don't have that brick and mortar. So if you're a brand new clothing brand, you just had, for example, like you literally just made your first collection of clothing, and you just need help promoting it and being able to let the people know like who you are. I want to be that person to be able to promote you in the most positive way possible, and I do it for 100% free. So it doesn't matter how small you are or how big you are as a brand. I'm here to just promote you and just try to make you look as good as possible in the most positive way possible.
I love that. I love that. I like how you're working so well, like trying to promote the culture, promote the communities.
Yeah.
What? Why is that something that you strive for? Why is that something that you're really about the culture and community? What? Why is that?
So I mean, I was brought up by my grandmother, so she really like ingrained in my head really was just like help others. Like that's just really what I've been brought up and known to do. Like it could be the simplest thing, whether it be helping somebody's mom bring in their groceries, or whether it be making an episode of Pulling Up. It doesn't matter how big or how like easy it is to help someone. If you can help do it, that's basically what I was like taught. And like she really just instilled that into me and my character to be able to help anyone. And this is a culture that I'm just extremely passionate about and that I love more than anything. Like I have very, very, very few people in my circle. So shout out to all my people that I talk to on a daily basis that I'm able to really just connect with when it comes to this. All we talk about is anything within this culture. So sneakers, streetwear, fashion, seeing like whether it be customs within shit that you'll never see, and like it just anything within this culture. That's all I'm talking about. I go to sleep dreaming about this. I wake up thinking about this. All I do is think about this culture more than anything. Like all you'll see me talking about is this culture. So once again, just being able to help others within the thing that I love most, it's pretty much a no-brainer for me.
So, who are some of your influences, like into the streetwear community, like in the community itself? Like, who are some of your influences, either
So
growing up or in the community it is right now?
I've been like really blessed to be able to actually meet a lot of the people that really like got me into this. So at first, like when I was into kicks, I always thought like about like when I was like really young, I was like especially like sixth, seventh grade, I was like always thinking about having my store to sell the kicks. Like I was always interested in selling sneakers until I fell out of selling it and just really accepting the culture in it, like enjoying the culture for what it is. So JC Lopez, 2J's Kicks, obviously was huge influence on me my entire life. Like he, when Urban was created, I believe in 2014, 2015, like I've been like pretty much just watching JC and Urban Necessities grow since it was really like out there on YouTube. And I just remember binge watching like what on like we had like a family like little Kindle. So I remember when we had that, everyone was sharing the Kindle. So whenever I had it, I just be on YouTube watching Urban Necessity videos, and him and like Blake Wynn and Blazendary and like all these other influencers who have been in the game for so long and have put so many reps in over the years. These are the guys who have really like inspired me to do what I do. Like same thing with like Kaiso Mar and Tony D2 Wild and like all these really dope figures within the culture. And with JC and Urban Necessities, when I went to Vegas to be filming for Pulling Up, I was blessed enough to actually be able to meet him and like just chop it up with him pretty much. And he gave me the opportunity to actually vlog, be behind the camera for his vlog in SneakerCon Chicago for a weekend. So to be able to to be able to vlog for 2J's Kicks vlog for a weekend, the guy that I've been watching for years since a little kid in middle school, was a pretty full circle moment. Like I got to meet him, and that weekend I got to meet Don C as well. I was actually wearing a pair of Just Don shorts today, which is actually ironic, but yeah, like to be able to meet a few, like a bunch of like really dope dudes like within the culture, along with like my guy Big A Custom, who I also like chop it up with every now and again on Instagram as well. Like just like some really dope guys within the culture that I was really blessed to be able to meet. There's quite a few people that have really like inspired me to do what I do and just be a part of this. Like it's just a blessing to even be the slightest bit part of everything that we do.
Yeah, it really is. You show a lot, like a lot of stores and streetwear boutiques. Like, what made you actually just start going and filming that, like to begin with? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what made you start that?
I, I just know like the power of what one video can do for a business. So I understand that 60 seconds, my 60 seconds for a business that may or may not know that I'm coming that day to be able to promote them in the most positive way possible. They may be struggling when it comes to the bills, and who knows like what my video might be able to do for that business to just absolutely like put them into a level of like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like wherever they're at, I want to be that person to be able to put them at a spot where they're extremely comfortable and really being able to get their business to the next level. So I've seen businesses where I've pretty much seen like damn near close to like closing their doors because it's been pretty tough to like keep up with things. And I've noticed that my video has really given a lot of positive exposure. Like I'll have tons of their future customers hitting me up trying to either buy products or trying to work with them and just send them all their way. And it's really just been able to help them. And once again, I don't see a penny of absolutely anything, and I never want to when it comes to these small businesses. My goal has always been to just be able to help these small businesses off the ground and just get them to that next level, essentially. So yeah, once again, whether it doesn't matter how small or how big these businesses are, I just want to be able to help in any way possible. And if what I'm doing, once again, is for 100% free, I don't see anybody losing in it. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I know you put a lot of people on with the Wake Up, which we were actually featured on, which was awesome. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Appreciate that
100%.
for sure. But yeah, I've seen a lot of brands that I don't know about and learned about just through your channel itself, like you showcasing these brands. So it's really, really dope, and what you do is really dope for everybody in the culture. You know, we appreciate it, and I'm sure everyone who you do post appreciate it as well. Because first of all, the videos are really, really well done.
Appreciate you.
Props, props to that. Props to you on that. How hard is it for you to film and edit all the videos and content that you're creating? Is this
I don't I don't
easy
know.
for you?
I don't call it easy or hard. I think it's like I don't believe in the thing as like, oh, if you love it you'll never work. I think if you love it you work even harder. That's what it is. So like if you love it you're gonna work even harder at it because of how much you love it. So yeah, nah, it's definitely a whole lot of work, but I wouldn't necessarily call it hard because I love the challenge of it all. I love being able to, like, the process really is like, I always say, like, with everything that I do, there is no end goal to anything that I do. There's never a finish line in my journey. There's never gonna be. Like, it's just a new project. Every episode is a new project. Every piece of content is a new project. So once I'm in the middle of it, like, when I'm in the middle of editing a video, that is the fun part. Like when I'm finished, it's like, damn, I'm done. You know, like, all right, what's next? Like when I'm in the middle of like figuring out what transition what works best with this audio, and how am I going to be able to, what vocabulary am I going to be using today for this video to be able to really, really show, like, make this video stand out for this business or brand. Like how am I going to be able to present them in the most positive way possible and really get as many eyes as possible on their video? Because at the end of the day, I'm acting as if I'm part of this brand, trying to get them to that next level. So every video I just put 110% in, and it's no easy or hard. It's just pure just love for it. I think it's just like this. It's really like, I can't really even explain the feeling. It's pretty much like this flow state that I get in when I'm like editing these videos. It's unlike anything I ever really had done before. It's just it's a really surreal feeling. It's really just unique in itself.
Yeah, I love that. I really love that. That's dope. I think I want to know about what is the process like? Do you know like what stores you're going to? Because you pull up to all of the stores, and do you like have a list of stores you're gonna hit that day? Do you have
So
like
all the
what's the
all the
creative process?
all depending on the trip. Like for example, if I know I'm going to be in a place for a week, I'll already been had a entire list, and I'll make sure, like, all right, in this area I'll make sure, say, for, let's use Manhattan for example, and I'm in the Lower East Side, I'm in Soho. I've got about 6 7 stores just in the spot specifically. I'll make sure wherever I'm at that time, I'll put it in a list from closest to farthest to be able to knock out every single store that I go to that day, and to be able to get the most, pretty much just the most what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, the not only the quickest, but the whichever route makes the most sense, because there's only so much time in the day. I'm pretty much just trying to get as many as possible, but also take the time and do it the right way as well. So I know that as long as I give myself enough time, I know that the most I've ever done in a day is, I believe I got up to like 20 stores recorded in one day. That's the most I've done. So it's
Wow.
like really, so you can knock it out right. You can, if you're really moving and you really get like the whole day to do so, like starting from 11, ending at 7, 8, like you can get a good amount of work done. And especially now that I look at it like that. So since I'm doing pulling up, wake up, 20 stores of pulling up, that's now 40 days of work, because now the other 20 is wake up. So yeah, man, it's pretty much just really having I've gotten into a groove now. I have almost 500 episodes of pulling up. I now have a pretty good system of being able to navigate through how to do things now. So it's every day is a new experience, and you learn as you go on as well.
I like that. So where do you see like what's next for you? What's the next thing that you're looking to do next?
Well, this being able to help people obviously is a forever game, like I said. But when it comes to like something, when it comes to the brand itself, Kickamatics, for my whole life, I've always been into sneakers, obviously. So one day you may or may not be able to see a sneaker, a Kickomatic silhouette one day. That's definitely always been on my bucket list when it comes to this game. So being able to have my own silhouette and being able to really push that out one day, like to be able to have something that I can wear that's my own, like to actually say that this is a Kickamatics 1.0, whatever the name of that shoe will be one day. That is definitely something in the future. Not definitely no time spent on that anytime soon. Just like, if I had to say in the whole grand scheme of things, I definitely would love to be able to do that one day. As whoever's willing to work, whoever's trying to get that to be a possibility or a reality, I definitely would love to have my own leather and laces on my feet one day.
That would be really really dope.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you go to like a lot of stores and a lot of different stores and a lot of different boutiques. Like, what makes a store appealing to you? Like, what makes a store stand out to you? Because you checked out, you said what, 500 stores or more? Like,
Damn
filmed
near, yeah, damn near
500. So
500.
who knows how many you've actually been into? Like, what makes a store really stand out for you? Like going into like a streetwear store, what makes you like really be like, all right, this is like really different. This is really like different than anything I've seen before. What stands out to you the most?
So I would say just really there's I say it a lot with a lot of people every day. Like there's a lot of copy and paste out there, but I just think like just do what you think is different, and what you think is like what makes sense for your brand. So really, it really comes down to what makes your brand, and what's the best way you can showcase it. For example, like when you walk to a flight club, you know it's going to be all about kicks from to the floor to the ceiling. You're going to see kicks everywhere. And then when you want to go to, for example, let's say a Y2K thrift vintage spot, for example, like my people over at the Reshop, they got 3 locations now. You're going to see a bunch of old school stuff that they have a bunch of clothes that's older than me in there. So it's really just like whatever your aesthetic is, what's the best way you can bring that out, and whatever it is for you. I know that I can really when it comes to like what stands out to me, I can really make something out of nothing. That's like my whole goal with this too. Like you don't have to give me much to be able to make a video for you. I can really just put in my own creativity and put in my own skills to really bring the best out of your storefront for a video of pulling up or wake up. So I guess what really stands out to me is really just individuality and just uniqueness within your own spot. It's really just showing like who you're about, because we already seen so many people who have done certain things. Now it's not saying you have to go completely away from it, but what like for example, people can make videos like me too, but they're gonna put their own spin on it. They're gonna have their own flavor with it. So what are you gonna do to really just put that little bit of secret sauce in your stuff to be able to differentiate yourself from others? It's really just you don't have to do too much. I don't think sometimes less is more, but it really is just making sure you're doing it for your own way. Like we can tell what's like people can tell nowadays what's bullshit and what's not. They're gonna know what's real and what's fake. So really just staying true to yourself at the end of the day. People really, I think, can appreciate just being your own self when it comes to this.
What are some of the stores like a couple stores, name a couple stores that people like should definitely check out that are something like where you're saying where they're like really, you know, doing themselves, like doing their own thing. Like what are some of the stores that people should check out, like top
Well,
stores that come to your mind like that people
I'm gonna
should
put on
definitely
I'm
check
gonna put
out?
on I'm gonna put on Rhode Island real quick, because nobody even knows that Rhode Island's a state and I'm from here. So every time I say Rhode Island, they say Long Island. So I'm gonna put on Rhode Island real quick. Shout out my people over at Dirty Laces on Park Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. Definitely, they're a newer store, but they're absolutely killing it. My guy Crook and everybody over there has been doing their thing. Also, got to shout out my people over at the Come Up store in the URI Emporium. They're the only real like Y2K thrift shop in all of Rhode Island as well. my homies over at the Come Ups. And when it comes to, I mean, I've been to a bunch of places. You name an area, and I can really like give it out to you. But if you really look through my just look through my catalog of everything, it's there. You know what I mean? I got it all up there. So it really depends where you're at. Like from I've got West Coast, I've got down south, I've got the East Coast, I've got everywhere. As I said, I just came back from Tokyo, so I've got like 70 more episodes to post just in Shibuya and Jingumae and Harajuku. So like there's a lot, man. There's a whole lot. So I would say just look through my catalog and pick something you like, pretty much.
That's dope. So you went to Tokyo. Did you go there to check out stores, or are you just visiting? What?
Strictly work, yeah. Strictly work, strictly business. I went out there alone. Took that 21 hours in the air from. You got to take from Boston to Boston to Hong Kong, and then Hong Kong to Tokyo. So that's about 21 hours, and yeah, it was strictly for this. So the cool part about this, I didn't tell. This was when Wake Up really just got started too. So I did 11. I brought 11 different outfits with me because I was there for 11 days. So I brought 11 different outfits for me and filmed 11 episodes of Wake Up in Tokyo for those brands who had no idea that they were going to be in Tokyo, showcasing their clothes in Tokyo. So I wore their clothes throughout all of Japan, like just to be able to give them that exposure as well. Once again, 100% free. Didn't charge them any of this. Just brought all their pieces that they gifted me to be able to get on Wake Up. Did it all in Tokyo for those brands that got showcased in Tokyo. And then I filmed 90 different storefronts in Tokyo in those 11 days. So
That's sick. What's the style like? Different streetwear style? Is there much difference from, you know, say U.S. to Tokyo, and like whether
it's
stores style? Like, tell me what the differences are, or what you've seen that
it's
was different.
it's a global fashion show essentially. It's pretty much any style of streetwear, any style of fashion in general. You're gonna see, for example, you'll see a punk rock look, you'll see a current day streetwear look, you'll see people rocking stuff that looks like they're from the 50s. Like it's literally any and everything in Tokyo. It's the biggest city in the world, so you're literally gonna get a little bit of everything. And it's so surreal, man. Like it was literally like a playground for me, bro. I felt like I was in a wonderland of the culture. It was like so cool. So to be on like Cat Street and to be able to see all these different looks and see all these different culture, like as much as it is Japanese culture in Tokyo, there's still so many other cultures built into it as well, like subcultures as well. And yeah, you see obviously a lot of tourists when you're in Tokyo, but it is majority obviously people from Japan itself, and just like you see so many different things, and it's just so cool. And that's why I think in America, especially, you see so many people cling on to the Japanese culture because it's so unique and they bring so many different aspects to this culture. And like, yeah, man, like they're just very unapologetically themselves. Like they just are unique and they don't care. Like they're just gonna be them, and that's why I think I love it so much over there.
That's really sick, and people could actually see a lot of the episodes of you going to different stores on your Instagram and
Yep.
channels right now. I was actually checking them out. Really, really dope. Really cool that you showcase all this stuff. You know, people might not
Yep.
be able to go to these different places, but you're showcasing these awesome places and
Yep.
on your Instagram. It's really, really dope. I really, really like it a lot.
Hey, at the end of the day too, like if for example, like obviously not everybody can just get on a flight and go to Tokyo, but like all these stores that I produce, that I showcase and promote, they obviously all got websites themselves. If you see something you like on there, you might even just go on the link in bio and check something out there as well. So somehow, some way, like even if you can't be able to go to this specific location, you can still, even if you like them, be able to buy something from them from the comfort of your home. You know what I mean? So it's pretty dope.
Yeah, for sure. What so I wanted to know what are some tips or advice that you could give to some other people who are trying to create content. We have a lot of people who watch this and listen who are, trying to create content themselves and do their own thing themselves, like you are. What are some like tips and advice that you could give people who are trying to do that?
Just try new shit. Like just be able to fall on your face a million times. Like literally, like if you fall down seven, get up eight. Like it really is just keep messing up. I invite messing up. Like literally, just go try as many new things as possible. At the end of the day, do what you think that you like, do what you think works best for you. At the end of the day, like I know that what worked for me is because you didn't really see anyone doing what I'm doing. And that's why it worked, because I stayed true to myself and you didn't really see it yet. So now just because I'm doing what I'm doing doesn't mean like, oh, this is the only way it works. There's so many things that haven't been done yet and that people haven't tried yet. You know what I mean? There's so many things to still try and just experiment with. At the end of the day, pulling up was an experiment that went right. I did so many other forms of content before that weren't clicking the way pulling up and wake up is. So I just tell people to basically just experiment as much as possible, try as many new things as possible. And reality is, if you're making content, you're probably an absolute Gerber. You're an absolute baby in this life, and you have so many years to still live. Like, I'm 21. I'm turning 22 this month. Like, I have another 80 years of life left. You know what I mean? I could mess up the next 20 years and still be young. So I tell people to just pretty much just continue to keep trying new things, continue to keep, and also, like, I think it's really fear of judgment. I think people are just really scared that they're afraid of that comment section. They're afraid of somebody saying that this shit is stupid or whatever the case is. Like, to this day, I get the most insane comments and DMs. Like, I'll never forget. Like, I got people just absolutely hating, whether it be a DM, and I'll just be like, "Hey, bro, I like appreciate your comment. Have a great day. God bless." And then get texted right back, "I didn't think you'd respond. I love all your shit." You know what I mean? So it's pretty much just don't be afraid of the judgment. If you're doing this, you have to understand you're doing it for you, and you have to be doing it for the right reasons. So I just tell people to just try it, bro. At the end of the day, you don't want to be the person saying, "I wish I did this" or "what if." That's how I see it. I don't want to be that "what if."
Yeah, for sure. So how do you deal with like people who like would say something, say some hateful or mean comments, stuff like that, like being like negative towards your what you're making? Like, how do you deal with that as
You
someone
just gotta
who puts
understand
themselves
that
out there?
you just gotta understand that that's their own insecurity. That's them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know whatever they're saying to me isn't really about me. And even if it is, if they truly feel that way, I hope they find whatever it is they're looking for. You know what I mean? God bless everybody who has that time of the day to be able to hit on somebody's post. You know what I mean? I don't got time for that shit, but if they do, great. And at the end of the day, it's just another comment on the post. So if you have the time to be able to hit on anybody's stuff, it's really just like an insecurity within themselves. I just tell people all the time, like, let them say what they got to say. At the end of the day, you know what you're doing this for. Whether you be just an artist who draws, like, if you're drawing, you do it because you love to draw. If you're cooking because you love to cook. You're not doing it for their comment, whether it be a great comment saying they love it or whether they say they hate it. I treat both absolutely equal. I say God bless to both because at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing this for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what's your favorite part of creating your content and what you make? Is it the filming, the editing, the setting it up? Like what's
I
your
would
favorite
say
personal part?
what we're doing right now is just conversing with like these store owners and the people who are in charge of it all, just to be able to just connect with them. Because I love just knowing the story behind it all. Like, I'm not able to give the best voiceover possible unless I know the background knowledge I need to know on this brand or business. So to be able to learn the story of or the origin of whatever I'm being able to showcase, that's the best part about it. To really be able to have that, and it's so cool that I give myself 60 seconds of time to give you an absolute like story of their entire journey in 60 seconds. So I really like understanding what this is all about, and I really want the viewers and the audience to get it within that 60 seconds of time, because we live in like a generation now where if I don't have your attention in 3 seconds, you're gone. So I really need to be able to give these people everything in that 60 seconds or less, and that's my favorite part, is really learning what it's all about.
Mm, I like that. I like that. So I want to ask you a question like about how do you handle like fighting the algorithm? So people who post content or people do social media, everyone's always talking about like the algorithm. How do you handle like change how everything changes all the time? How do you handle that as someone who's creating content? How do you battle that?
I just you, once again, you just got to stay true to you. Like, I know what I'm making the content for. I know my purpose. I was lucky enough to understand my life's purpose, and I understand like what I'm doing as well. Now, if you see the first episode of Pulling Up and the first episode of Wake Up compared to now, they're definitely a lot better in quality when it comes to edits, voiceovers, lighting, certain ways of editing, and certain ways of shooting certain clips. It just means like, all right, so I understand. Here's where my content is. There's always room for improvement. So basically, it's not necessarily changing the entire landscape, but what can we do better within the content that we already have? Because we have a foundation, so now let's build on top of it. So really just trying to really just tighten everything up as much as possible. At the end of the day, at one point it was working. Okay, what can we tweak a little bit to just continue to keep the ball rolling with what we're doing? So it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, because it didn't work today, oh, let's just trash it. Nah, it's just like, all right, this isn't really it might be getting, whether it be stale or whatever the case may be, or it was just a bad day of posting. Sometimes algorithms can just be that way. It doesn't mean that the content was bad. At the end of the day, that's all opinion based. So it's really just, if you know that you put out the best piece of content you could possibly put out, that's all that matters. Numbers are numbers. They're going to do what they're going to do. There's videos that have blown up on my page that I would have thought never blew up the way they did, whether it be just like, because I'll be doing 2 posts a day on Instagram lately. That's what I've been doing. So it'll be a pulling up or a wake up that day, plus another thing within the content. Like, I'll do another like short clip of something that I saw that you might see in an episode of Pulling Up or Wake Up, but just like another side clip that I'll put out there as well that has to do with the culture. So like there's little clips like that, 15-second clips that might have 100,000 views that would have never thought would have got that, but it did just because that's how the algorithm worked that day.
Yeah, for sure. So what's your main social media platform that you're really focusing on right now?
I focus on them all pretty equally, to be honest, but Instagram is my most engaging, I would say. I would say Instagram is definitely my best platform when it comes to my audience and my numbers, like in my analytics and everything. I would say Instagram's probably my best, but everything I really pretty much work on as much as possible within YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, X, Facebook, and I believe that's Snapchat as well. So I got like those 7 pretty much going, and I post them all on everything that you see is posted on all platforms.
That's really, really dope. So I see a ton of sneakers in the background, and
Yeah,
I think we should talk about some sneakers. Let's do a little sneaker talk. So,
awesome.
yeah, 'cause, I mean, that's your name's Kickamatics. So,
Yep,
so first question. First of all, it's a crazy looking collection you got back there.
appreciate it.
I want to know, what do you think the most overhyped sneaker of the year would be?
That
Because
one,
there's a lot of there's a lot of overhyped sneakers. I want to know what your opinion, most overhyped sneaker of this year so far that you've seen.
that's a tough one, to be honest with you. I don't want to say overhyped, but I think it's just odd with the like where kicks are right now is kind of weird because I don't think I'm that guy that sees beauty in every sneaker. You're never gonna hear me say I hate a sneaker, which is crazy to say. Like I've never really called a shoe ugly. It's kind of nuts, but I guess I mean like I think the way that people just with trends, I guess you could say like a lot of people fell into the trend game with like ones, fours, and dunks everybody fell in love with. So I mean, pretty much, I'm just looking to see. I'm away from that. I just really want to see something weird come out. So when I see people just rocking like a very common colorway of dunk or a common retro that goes under retail, I guess you could say that would be overhyped. I guess you could say like. I forgot what the name of the colorway was, but the something green Jordan 4 that just came out that went under retail instantly. But yeah, I guess I would say like nothing really overhyped for me because that's really like I find love in all of them. But there's gonna be people who obviously say there's like a bunch of like retros that are coming out that are gonna be overhyped. But for me, I don't think I have anything overhyped, to be honest with you. It's kind of crazy to say, but I don't think anything, to be honest.
What's your favorite sneaker that came out this year so far?
Oof. I think mine would probably be. It's gonna sound crazy, but I think so far it hasn't come out yet. But the one that has come out for me so far isn't even like one that people are putting like attention to. I think I really like that teddy bear Kizzo. Shout out Kizzo Kicks, homie Jake. He puts out just. He's been just getting better and better as time goes on. Shout out Kizzo and what he's been doing. I think the teddy bear Kizzo that came out was pretty dope. That's so far been my favorite, but I think that my favorite when it comes out, I think it's supposed to come out early this month in July. The Nigel Sylvester Jordan 4 RM. It's just a whole totally different look to the Jordan 4 that's gonna pretty much just change everything. Nobody's seen the Jordan 4 look this way. And Nigel, I have his Jordan 1 here, still DS to this day. His just anything that Nigel's done with Nike has always been just insane. So what he's doing with that green colorway on the Jordan 4 RM, I can't wait to see different colorways of that silhouette. And I think that's going to be the sneaker of the year for me.
How do you feel about like sneaker customs, like custom sneakers?
Love it. I love it because it's one of one. Like I love people just doing different things. I love seeing individuality and just the ingenuity that they have behind it. I love seeing the innovation of their designs. I love seeing different materials hanging off the side of it. I love seeing different like hand drawn sketches on top of swooshes or different types of leathers putting like worked on these pieces. Like I love anything custom, man. I love like custom work. I think we need more of it, to be honest with you, because once again, there's so many people wearing the same stuff. I think when you have something one of one on, like you're gonna break my neck somehow when I'm walking down the street. I'm gonna look at your kicks because like you're not gonna see those every day.
Yeah, it's true. So how do you feel about reselling, which is like one of the biggest things when it comes down to, sneakers? How do you feel about reselling and resellers?
I think we need them. I think without them, we wouldn't have the culture. You know what I mean? Like without resellers, we wouldn't have the culture that we have. So I think it's an incredibly important aspect. As much as people will talk junk about it, I think it's great that we have resellers. I think there's a lot of people who just get into it quick and think they're gonna make a quick buck. Like I think there's a lot of people that have it all wrong. Don't get me wrong, but like I think there's a lot of people who have been reselling kicks for years who truly understand the culture, who have been in a market where it goes consistently up and down, up and down. And I think, if you resell kicks, at the end of the day, I used to resell kicks and I used to do pretty well at it as well. But I just fell in love with just enjoying the culture for what it is. I love that people resell, and I love that people do what they do because we need it. You know what I mean? They're gonna get there at the end of the day. If they're gonna make a few bucks to be able to sell a pair of kicks, and you know what I mean, if they can make a living out of it, why not? At the end of the day, everything is reselling. Everything is resold in this life. Like everything, like whether it be kicks, clothes, or anything that's like food, for example, at supermarkets is resold. So it's like everything's resold. I think resale is a really important aspect of the culture itself.
So this is probably going to be a hard question for you. What's your favorite pair that you own?
Oh, Toro Bravo. That was the shoe that got me into it. I got it. So it's like that. I have that DS. Like the Toro Bravo Jordan 4 is everything for me. Literally.
That's
That's
the
that.
one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, like I need like 10 pairs to be able to go out in. I need a workout one. I need a hoop one. I need like literally just I need like 10 different pairs of the Toro Bravo. That is the shoe. That is everything for me. I love that shoe.
That's really really dope. Um, s- so I wanted to ask you. We were talking a couple things about the future goals and future plans of what you're doing. What are some things that people could look forward to seeing on your channels and what you're putting out? What's some stuff that people could look forward to seeing on there?
I would definitely say, obviously, we got both the Pulling Up and Wake Up series, and we obviously post a second post every day as well now to just be able to stay as engaging as possible with the audience, and just posting a bunch of things like clips that you might not see on the Pulling Up and Wake Ups. I might save for that second post of the day, but a whole lot more vlogs that are going to be on the YouTube. You'll see a whole lot more sneak peeks that are going to be posted on there for the vlogs. Shout out 𝚂𝚑, who is my brother 𝚂𝚑, who has a brand called Absent. He is also my primetime videographer when it comes to my vlogs. He does like insane work behind the camera, so he helps me big time when it comes to my vlogs. And yeah, I would say pretty much just stay tuned for us continuing to be us. Like nothing really too different just yet, but there's definitely things that are in the works as we speak. You'll definitely see a whole lot more events because it's summertime. So like SneakerCon LA, July 13th and 14th, Culture Day September 1st. Yeah, just pretty much a whole lot of events are my favorite thing to do when it comes to the Pulling Up series because it's the next day you'll see it posted giving that recap. But pretty much a whole lot of pulling ups and wake ups and a whole bunch of other things within the culture you'll see.
Why do you think events are so important to this culture?
Community is everything. The people is everything. Without the people, we're nothing. So without the people behind all these brands and businesses and everything that you see that you buy, people obviously have to be the ones to create them. So without the people, there is no culture. So I think having thousands of people in attendance and just enjoying the culture that we all know and love most is the reason why this culture is what it is. Having all these different characters and personalities, bringing all this just greatness to one, like imagine all this greatness under one roof. It's an energy that you really can't describe. You just got to be part of it. So I tell everybody when it comes to these events that I promote on all my platforms, don't miss them. Like these are like days that you're going to remember forever. These are moments, and there you might meet somebody that might be a lifelong friend, or it might be a business partner for a future endeavor. You have no idea who you're going to meet, what you're going to see, or what you're going to do that day. These events is like a 6 hour block of just absolute chaos, and it's the most awesome thing in the world. I love it. I just love these events.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. I definitely agree with you. So can you tell us more about the Culture Day event
So Culture
that
Day,
you spoke about?
September 1st. Shout out 𝚂𝚑. They're putting on a show. I believe it's in Seaport in Boston, Massachusetts. I believe it's going to be around like 200 vendors is the goal, and there's going to be thousands in attendance. It's going to be a massive show. They're taking vendors as we speak right now. I actually just posted a quick little promo today. If you check out my Instagram, it's actually my latest post. I added 𝚂𝚑 and all the other accounts like Culture Day and that are going to be part of that as well. You can sign up today. Just send the Culture Day account. Kickamatics sent me, and we can make you a vendor today, basically showcasing what you and your business is all about. And Culture Day, it's in the name. It's all about the culture. You're going to be seeing things from sneakers, streetwear, fashion, art, music. There's obviously going to be great food. There's going to be barbers. There's going to be absolutely anything you could possibly think of in the culture that we all know and love. So it's definitely a day that you're not going to want to miss. It's right before back to school too on September 1st. It's a perfect time and it's a perfect place for this event too. So I definitely think if you're thinking about it, definitely do it.
Yeah, that sounds like a really dope event. Like it's gonna be really, really dope. Before we get into the questions of the people, because people have asking questions while we're live right now. You guys can ask a question. Everybody's tuned in. There's a form in the chat. You guys can ask live. But before we get into that, is there anything you want to let people know about, like what you do, or anything that you want to let people know about, that we didn't speak about?
A few things. I definitely got a giveaway July 7th. This homie right here. I did this in a trade up challenge. Y'all can win this for 100% free. Diaz Black Panther helmet. This is a giveaway on July 7th. If you haven't seen on my page, definitely join this giveaway right here. When somebody in the comment section is going to be getting that for 100% free.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
but other besides that, pretty much just stay tuned for what we got going on for a whole lot of more pulling ups and wake ups. If you're a brand, if you're a business, if you're a store owner, if you're an event and you would like to be showcased on pulling up or wake up, I'm always open for people hitting me up and trying to work. I'm always ready to work with people. Obviously, I've got plenty of brands that are like lined up that I obviously have scheduled day after day when it comes to both these series. So bear with me and stay as patient as possible. But if you are trying to work and you are trying to make something happen, I'm always invited to. I always invite people to just hit me up, DM me on Instagram, and we can make it happen.
That's dope. That's dope. I really, really respect what you do, and I really, really think it's dope that you put in a lot of people on, and I really think it's cool. You know, you're like showcasing all these stores. Like that's what really got me into streetwear, going into the stores and stuff like that. So it's cool that you could showcase that on online, like for the people who might live in a small town or might live somewhere where they can't reach these stores. It's cool that you can showcase that online. I really, really respect that you do that, and really respect that you showcase these brands that people may or may not have heard of before. I really, really think that's really, really dope. So that's
Appreciate you,
what,
fam.
yeah. But before we now, I want to get into some questions from the chat. We have some questions here that people wanted to ask you. So the first question, let me pull up the first question. The first question we have is, what's your favorite basketball team growing up and now?
So, I mean, I'm from Rhode Island, so I'm right next to Boston, but like, that's a little tricky. I mean, I guess you could say I'm a C's fan. Yes, I grew up a C's fan my whole life, but I was like, it's sort of like watching Star Wars, and you're like, you want the good guys to win, but you love Darth Vader, because I was a huge Kobe fan. So that's pretty much what that was. Like, I just loved Kobe, and like, that's really what it was. But yeah, I guess you could say the C's because I grew up, and I'm a C's fan because I grew up in Rhode Island my whole life. Yeah.
Next question is, do you need a model for female kicks?
Female kicks. What? So, meaning like, what do they mean by that?
I don't,
Do I need a model for female kicks? I mean,
do you need a model
don't.
for a female to wear sneakers? I guess.
Not. I'm not looking for any at the moment, but I mean, for me personally, no, I'm not looking for any models for anything. To be honest, I wouldn't have anything that's needed for modeling. I guess you could say. I'm not really doing anything within my brand specifically when it comes to garments, kicks, or anything like that. But I know there's probably somebody that's always looking for them. Anybody that I work with, I know they're always looking for models. There's plenty of streetwear brands that I work with that are always looking for people to, like, if you look at any of my episodes of Wake Up, any of those brands that you see that you would obviously want to model for, I guess you could say I would recommend DMing any of the brands that I showcase on Wake Up. They'll probably definitely look into that for sure.
Next question is, do you ever do sample giveaways?
Like,
Maybe a brand, maybe they mean like a brand that sent you something. Would you? I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not sure. Maybe a brand send you something that would you ever do a giveaway?
like a collab giveaway, sort of in a way, I guess you could say.
I think that's what they mean. Yeah.
I would love to be able to, like, I think that's a really dope way to be able to just for two reasons, be able to basically engage with both pages. For example, like if I was to collab with WHADAFUNK, for example, and we were doing this big giveaway, to be able to just get both of our pages to engage with both of our communities that we've built. I think that's a really dope thing to do, to be able to do giveaways like that. I think it's a really smart thing to do as well for brands to collab and do giveaways, because not only is somebody going to win free product, but everybody's engaging at the same way, just building a bigger community. So I think it's a really dope thing to do.
Next question we have is, where can we converge in real life with you?
That's why I say come to these events, man. You can see me at every event, man. Seriously, I'm everywhere. I'm always moving. I'm literally always on. As much as I'm from Rhode Island, I always say I live out of my suitcase, because that's essentially what I do. I'm pretty much always on the move. And the next event you can see me at is, if you're going to be in Anaheim, SneakerCon LA, 13th to 14th of this month, you'll see me there. It's going to be the biggest event probably of the year, pretty much. SneakerCon obviously has been doing it for 15 years now. There's a reason why they're the GOATs at this. And yeah, SneakerCon LA is going to be insane. So that's definitely the next event you'll see me at for sure.
There you go. What's your favorite brands right now? What collabs are doing something dope? Or like what combos they said, which I think they mean like collabs. But what's your favorite brands right now?
I'll do a big one and I'll do emerging. One for emerging is my brother's brand, Absent. It's literally going to be changing the game of streetwear, especially when it comes to Rhode Island. Like Rhode Island, there's a whole lot of simplicity, I guess you could say. Like I see a whole lot of things you'll see from other places. There's not like a set niche streetwear look for Rhode Island, I guess you could say. It's like there's nothing that has really like came out of Rhode Island saying this is Rhode Island. Like you'll see a whole lot of New York, you'll see a whole lot of LA that's in Rhode Island. So when it comes to Rhode Island, my brother Rex, he's creating some with his brand called Absent, and it's a collection that I think is really going to be able to it's going to change the landscape of streetwear in Rhode Island. So definitely be on the lookout for Absent. It's _ABSXNT on Instagram. And when it comes to a collab that another brand collab that I love a lot, that's well known. I love everything that Action Bronson and New Balance is doing right now. I think that collab is unbelievable. Shout out Action Bronson. He's not only one of my favorite artists, but every collab that he's done with New Balance so far has just been insane. It's just such an eye-catching colorway on such a great silhouette. I think what him and New Balance is doing is great.
Do you ever think you might do outfit surprise boxes like a subscription service?
Ooh, that's pretty cool. That's actually a dope idea. I mean, I'm definitely not against it. I think that'd be something dope to be able to do in the future. I think I would love to be able to do something like that. Either whether it be for me to open or to be able to give out for people to open. I think that'd be dope. Like either way, like either or, I think is really dope. It's actually a dope idea.
Yeah, I like that idea. It's good. Um, what would you what would you wear to New York Botanical Gardens Alice in Wonderland event right now?
Ooh, yeah. I would definitely go Earth Day, Sean Weatherspoon Superstars, just because they're so funky with so many flowers on them. I definitely would wear that. I would because there's just like they got these. I got them actually. I'm gonna show you. Got like all these like flowers. Like I would just wear like just literally they're all funky. You just got so many things going on with it, flowers wise. There's all these tassels. You got like the Earth like lace lock on it right there. Everything that Sean does with every collab that he does is insane. But yeah, if I had to wear something, it'd be something like this. It's just funky, all these different colors on it. And you could pretty much just go simple on top too. You could just let all the talking happen on your feet. So I think I would do something like this.
I like those. Those are fire.
Yeah.
Uh, what's your outfit choice for going to a castle?
Ooh, castle. I would wear something like heavy duty, so some type of dope leather jacket I would have to wear. Like if you ever seen like when Triple H came back in that dope leather jacket, like jean jacket, leather sleeves, I'd wear something heavy duty like that, and just like go in there with a like some big Doc Martin boots, like something like you know what I mean? Like you're gonna see like it's very, very much so like it's some hardcore stuff right there, like something like like he just walked into the room. It's a big time statement piece, I guess you could say. That Triple H denim jacket with that leather sleeve, something along the lines of that I would wear.
That's sick. Uh, if you combine two shoes to make a custom, which ones would you choose?
That's a good one. That's different. I think I would do. Ooh, man, that was a different question. I did not expect a question like that. I gotta like look.
Yeah.
Look. I think I'd want comfort, but plus something bulky at the same time. So sort of like how Balenciaga did a Triple S, I would do like. So I would say like something along the lines of like a Nike Vomero midsole, bottom outsole. So for that comfort, I would do that, and then for uppers, I would do something bulky, like maybe like add I don't even know 2 pairs and
Yeah.
together it's different. I
Yeah.
mean Jordan Brand just did some with the 2 and the 3. They just combined those two. But I guess I would have to say comfort, but plus bulkiness on top. So I guess you could say something along the lines of like a New Balance 2002 or a Vomero for the midsole, and then you could go something crazy with like a Jordan 2 upper, like something crazy bulky, like just looks absolutely ridiculous on top with something really comfy on the bottom.
I like that. Uh, I think this is the last question, maybe. How many sneakers do you own?
I
Do you
think we're
know?
over 2. I think we're over 2. I think it's like 210, some along the lines of that. Like you're only seeing one wall. There's a whole wall behind you right now, so it's like
Sheesh.
around 2ish, like around that, yeah, around that number. But I haven't bought a pair of kicks in like 3 years. So this is all from 14 to 18 years old. This is all from Boys and Girls Club paycheck money. This is what you're seeing. Like I haven't bought kicks for myself in like 3 years. So yeah, if I kept buying kicks, it would have been my room would have been a closet. Really. So,
Do you wear a different pair of sneakers every day?
quite opposite. It's about 98% of the year I'm in a pair of Crocs. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. I'm in Crocs like every day, like literally Crocs every day. I hope Crocs is seeing this because I need something Crocs to support. I mean, but I hope if anybody in this live right now can hook me up with Crocs, something, make it happen. I need something with Crocs. I need a Kickamatics Crocs to happen. That's my goal. I think I want that more than
I love it. Can you show us some of the sneakers that you have on display?
yeah. What you want to see?
I don't know. I guess they
I'll
want to
just pull
see
out.
like they want to see some sneakers.
I'll pull out. I guess since we talked about it, this is everything for me. So this is the shoe, obviously, that got me into it all. So the Toro Bravo, when I saw this on that, when I saw it on that computer that day, when I was about 9ish or so, you can even see in the air bubbles they're even starting to fog up because it's just the age on them. From these are from 2012, I believe. So yeah, these are really you know what I mean. This is the shoe that did it all for me. Without this shoe, I just simply wouldn't be here talking with you today, to be honest. So these are still dead stock. Of course, I got these for a birthday not too a few years ago. I got these, but never have even seen my feet on them. So that's why I need like 10 pairs so I can be able to do just a different activity in each pair that I have because they're too pretty to put on my feet when you only have one pair of them. But yeah, you can even tell like on the black with the midsole and everything. Like eventually, sooner than later, if I don't wear these, you're gonna be able to just scrape just like that. They'll definitely just like completely fall to pieces one day in a few years from now. But regardless, I'll still have them just like this. They won't be on my feet anytime soon. They'll be in the box.
Do you have any way to stop the soles from falling off? Do you know any ways
Soul swap.
like
You either soul swap or it's you're supposed to wear them. So like when I guess by wearing them, like since when there's no wear, like it really makes it easy to be able to just scrape it. But when they're already worn, it makes it like less possible of it happening.
mm,
Something with the glue that they used back then when they were making the shoes, like it's just I guess a different process of creating them or a different glue that they were using. But I have a pair of 1999 white cements that I used in a video. Like I still like my second post of the day. I'll make like a comedy skit for that second post of the day on Instagram, and they're like in absolute shambles, pieces, just in the OG box, receipt, everything from '99. But I have a bunch of OG pairs like metallic fives that are in pieces, candy cane 14s that are in pieces. I have a cherry 12 in pieces, just a bunch, all just OG box sent away, just like original releases of things that are just absolutely crumbled.
that's crazy. What's your favorite? Oh, you already answered that one. Someone else has. As an old school skater, do you have any Vans and do you wear odd shoes? Like one
I
shoe
love.
for like one side and then like one shoe for another side?
Oh, I did. I did. I have done that before. So like for example, like I have like a bread and a royal one. I've done that before. So sort of like Lance Mountain has his Lance Mountains where you like skate, or if you like wear them, the colors actually come out. But I actually have just like a pair of royals and a pair of breads. So like I'd wear those together type deal. But Vans, being an old school skater, Vans, I did have a bunch of Vans in my collection that I was wearing. I have like none now, but I did work with a brand called Cool Way. You guys will actually see this pair on tomorrow's episode of Wake Up. I've got two pairs from Cool Way. They're along the lines of like a lifestyle, sort of like a Van, I guess, but you can compare them sort of to a Samba in a way, an Adidas Samba. And basically, they're like a lifestyle wear, but you also see a lot of people skating in them as well. They're a brand based out of Spain, so they're really big in Spain. The brand is called Cool Way, and just a real comfortable lifestyle shoe that you can wear with a whole lot of different things. And I think these specifically, like in this colorway, this is their duck model, and I also have another model by them as well. But you'll see these tomorrow on Wake Up, and they've got a bunch of other things you should definitely check them out on. So definitely you'll see their account tagged on tomorrow's episode of Wake Up.
Yeah, those look dope. Those look really dope. Um, yeah, I think that's all the questions. Yo, shout out to everyone who asked a question. Thank you everybody who asked a question, and to keep this interview a little more exciting so people could actually learn things that they want to know. That's why we do it live, so people could actually ask the questions and find out more information as they're watching. And yo, shout out to Kickamatics. Yo, thank you so much for coming through. I really
Appreciate you for
appreciate
having me on, man.
really
Seriously, thank
appreciate
you.
really appreciate it, and appreciate the support, posting and repping us on the Wake Up episode. That was really dope. And I like the fit you put together with the tea. Really like
I,
that. It was dope.
I tried to put something that went really well. I thought the bread four would go really good with those cargos that I had for y'all. I think everything really went together real well. And you guys gave me a great tee that pretty much goes with a whole lot of pieces. I could have went any way with that shirt that you gave me. So the pieces that you guys got are real. You can really use them with pretty much anything. That's why I love your pieces a lot. So you can wear them with all things.
Thanks, homie. I appreciate that. So like, do you have anything that you want to let people know? Anything upcoming to let people know that look forward to?
Man, just stay on the lookout for a brand that you might be wanting. To be honest, I might be showcasing your new favorite brand. That's why I say stay tuned every single day. You might see a brand tomorrow that I showcase. For example, there's a few emerging brands that I'm going to be showcasing tomorrow that might turn into your new favorite brand that you might be with for a while now. So that's why I say always tune in, whether it be pulling up, whether it be wake up. You might see something that might open your eyes, like me with that Toro Bravo 4. There might be something on that screen tomorrow that changes your life forever. So I just really say stay tuned for the daily upload. And yeah, man, just whether you like it or you love it, there might be something that catches your eye and might change. It might do something for you. So I just say stay tuned for the daily content.
That's really, really dope. And where can people find you and find out more? Find out more.
At Kickamatics everywhere, every social media you could possibly think of, put in at Kickamatics and you'll find me.
There you go, guys. I put Kickamatics on the live comment section right now. You guys could follow Kickamatics if you're following from WHADAFUNK and aren't sure yet. Definitely check out Kickamatics, yo. And I think this is really dope. I really, really appreciate what you're doing for the community, the culture. I like everything that you're doing for brands. I like everything that you're doing for the stores, and I like your content too. I think you really do very well job at creating the content, and it's consistent. It makes people, it makes you want to look forward to seeing like what you're gonna post the next day. So I really, really think I personally think that's really, really dope, and I look forward to seeing like what you're gonna post the next day, what brands you're gonna post, what stores you're gonna go to. That really, I don't know. I personally really like that. So everyone who, messes with WHADAFUNK should know about, Kickamatics if they haven't known about it yet, because we got a lot of people from other countries and other things like that. So we want to let everybody know, what we're doing over here. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much for being on here. Shout out to everyone for joining in on the live. If you're catching the replay, follow Kickamatics. And I just want to say thank you once again for being on here. I appreciate you coming through.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. One last thing I want to shout out. I also shouted out Absent earlier, but I also want to shout out there will be an event very soon, also by my other brother, AG. It is called Kicks and Tricks. It is also another huge thing on how I even met Anthony and 𝚂𝚑 in the very first place. Stay tuned. I think we're looking for October for all my people here on the East Coast in the Rhode Island, Massachusetts area. Kicks and Tricks is looking to hopefully be in October. No set date yet, but Kicks and Tricks is also another event that people should be on the lookout for as well.
Where's that one gonna be at?
No set location yet.
Oh, no
All I'm
set
gonna say is
location.
follow
Sorry.
Kicks and Tricks 47 on Instagram. Make sure you follow Kicks and Tricks. Make sure you follow Absent and me, of course, as well. You'll see me promote them whenever the dates come out. You'll always see it first on my page as well. So make sure you're following those two accounts. Stay on the lookout for their drops and what they got cooking up as well.
That's really, really dope. Everyone look out for that. If you're on the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully we'll be able to pull up to that and we could chop it up and hang out.
Definitely.
But yeah, yo, guys, thank you everybody so much for pulling up to watching this live, or whether you're catching the replay. Really, really appreciate everybody so much for supporting. Really appreciate you for giving us that awesome post, and it's dope that we could, chop it up and talk to each other about, what you do. I really, really appreciate learning more about what you do.
100%, brother. Appreciate you for having me once again, bro. Thank you.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we will catch you on the next Hype It Up show. Peace, peace, peace.